Asian giant hornet. It inhabits temperate tropical East Asia, South Asia, mainland Southeast Asia, and some parts of the Russian Far East. The hornet's body length is 45 millimeters, wingspan is about 75 millimeters, and the stinger is 6 millimeters long, injecting a large amount of potent venom that contains mastopiron. An entomologist from Tamagawa University described the sensation of the sting as feeling like a hot nail is being driven into my leg. Besides using their stingers to inject venom, hornets are capable, under certain circumstances, of spraying venom into a person's eyes. These hornets are called bee killers. In half an hour, 20 Asian hornets can destroy an entire hive of 30,000 bees. The tsetsefly inhabits equatorial and subequatorial Africa, in damp areas mainly in humid tropical forest. The body length is 9 to 14 millimeters. At first glance, this fly is indistinguishable from ordinary ones, but the tsetse has a distinctive sharp proboscis that sticks out like a sword. Tsetseflies feed on blood. They attack any moving warm object, even a car. The fly only does not attack zebras. Scientists believe that the insect perceives a zebra simply as a collection of black and white stripes. They are carriers of the pathogen that causes human sleeping sickness. Sleeping sickness is dangerous for people and can lead to death if medical assistance is not provided in time. Periodically, outbreaks of the disease occur in Africa, leading to epidemics during which 35 to 50,000 people become victims of sleeping sickness. The malaria mosquito. They are widespread on all continents except Antarctica, and are absent in desert areas and the far north. The main differences between malaria mosquitoes and regular ones. The malaria mosquito's hind pair of legs is longer than that of regular mosquitoes, so the malaria mosquito sits with its rear raised and head lowered. True mosquitoes sit straight or slightly lower their abdomen. The malaria mosquito has a pair of antennae located near the mouthparts that are the same length as the proboscis. In regular mosquitoes, the antennae are short. A mosquito becomes a malaria mosquito, that is, a carrier of the disease, after it drinks the blood of a host infected with Plasmodium. It is impossible to get infected through airborne droplets, for example, from an already sick person. Malaria is an acute infection characterized by periodic fever attacks with damage to red blood cells, anemia, enlargement of the liver and spleen, vomiting, and convulsions. Malaria has always been and remains one of the most dangerous human diseases. It ranks fifth in the number of fatal cases per year among infectious diseases. The red fire ant, one of the most dangerous invasive ant species in the world, possessing a strong venom which they inject into the skin using a sting from a gland located at the rear of the abdomen. For humans, their stings are very painful, and for those suffering from allergies, they can be life-threatening. These insects can significantly reduce the populations of many animals. Red fire ants are also capable of disabling electrical equipment, including cars and computers, and damaging crops. Black widow spider. The adult spider is colored black. Females typically have a red hourglass-shaped spot on the underside of the abdomen, and several red spots on the back. The body length of the female is 8 to 10 millimeters. Adult male black widows differ from females by their small size, 3 to 4 millimeters in length. The black widow is not aggressive towards humans and bites only in self-defense in a desperate situation, for example, if the spider is pressed by a hand. Bites from the black widow are dangerous. They cause a painful condition known as latrodactylism. An hour after the bite, a neurotoxin called latrotoxin spreads through the victim's lymphatic system, causing extremely painful abdominal muscle cramps, possible vomiting, profuse sweating, and thirst. However, with proper treatment, the condition usually ends in full recovery. Information about fatalities from black widow bites is somewhat contradictory. In the book, Arthropod venom states that the mortality rate in the United States was about 6%, 38 out of 613 cases. Other authors claim that there are no known cases of death from latrodactyl spiders in America. However, the literature describes several cases involving spiders of this genus in other parts of the world. In Nab, Yunnan, Ulmap, Inda. The black-legged tick. It inhabits the eastern and northern United States, as well as southeastern Canada. Adult specimens have 8 legs, while larvae have 6. Unlike ticks of other genera, black-legged ticks do not have eyes. Through the bite of these ticks, pathogens of deadly diseases such as Lyme disease, babesiosis, anaplasmosis, and Powassan disease can be transmitted. Early manifestations of Lyme disease may include fever, headaches, fatigue, and a characteristic skin rash called erythema migrans. In most cases it is cured with antibiotics. The outcome of the disease largely depends on the timeliness and accuracy of the diagnosis and the early start of treatment. Untimely and inadequate therapy can lead to the development of a late stage, which is difficult to cure and may result in disability or even death of the patient. Fat-tailed scorpion. These scorpions, up to 10 centimeters in size, are found only in semi-arid and waterless regions of the Middle East and Africa. Their Latin name comes from Greek and means manculae deistes terasta eurosienki, macasainte. They generally move very quickly and have an aggressive nature. These scorpions use neurotoxic venom, which acts quickly and can be absorbed very rapidly. These neurotoxins affect the central nervous system, causing paralysis of the nerves responsible for breathing, ultimately leading to death from respiratory failure. Neurotoxins can also cause widespread neuron excitation, symptoms of which may include pain, sweating, and salivation. Anxitasio, anxiasia, and tearing. Victims will feel increasingly weak after poisoning. Poisoning can lead to death, which may occur between 5 and 15 hours, but it is also possible that death may occur within 1 hour. For treating black fat-tailed scorpion stings, a monovalent antidote called antiscorpionic is available. Bullet ant. These are large tropical ants with a body length from 18 to 25 millimeters and a brownish-black color. They possess a very strong venom, surpassing the potency of any wasp or bee venom. Habitat: Central and South America. The sting length is up to 3.5 millimeters. The venom reservoir length is about 2 millimeters. A2 are called the bullet ants because the sting's intensity is comparable to a gunshot wound, or 24-hour ants because the pain lasts almost a day. According to the Schmidt Sting Pain Index, it corresponds to the highest level. Fort Push Paisinia Sided, IACI Escalada, Fort Plus. Brazilian indigenous tribes have a rite of passage for boys into adulthood. First, they weave something like mittens from leaves, but without a thumb section. Then they take ants, put them into a sleep state, and attach them to the weaving with the stinger facing inward. When the ritual begins, the teenage boy must put both hands into the gloves and keep them there for 10 minutes. After the ritual, the hands are in a paralyzed state and lose sensitivity for several days. Unfortunately, there have been fatal outcomes. Amblyoma americanum, a species of ticks from the Ixodidae family. They inhabit wooded areas. Ticks of this species are carriers of several dangerous human diseases, such as borreliosis, rickettsiosis, tularemia, and ehrlichiosis. The saliva of the tick, which enters the blood during a bite, contains neurotoxins and can cause tick paralysis. Cases have been described where people bitten by this tick develop an allergy to red meat. The peculiarity of the allergy caused by this tick is that it does not appear immediately but several days or months after the bite. Therefore, most people do not associate its appearance with the bite. Symptoms can be extremely severe: hives, suffocation, diarrhea, and anaphylactic shock. Such reactions are most often recorded after eating a burger or steak at night. Blista beetle. In Russia it is common in the southern and North Caucasus districts, in the Krasnodar region and southwestern Siberia. Specimens of bright red, yellow and green colors are more frequently encountered. The beetles are medium-sized or large, approximately the size of a phalanx of an index finger. The beetle's blood, scientifically called hemolymph, contains the toxin cantharidin. The poison can damage the skin at the contact site. A burn in the form of a watery blistered forms. Most often the hands, neck and face are affected. If there are severe cuts or scratches on the skin, the burns will be more severe. If the beetle gets into food, intoxication may develop. Within the first 10 minutes after consuming cantharidin, burning of the lips, mouth and throat begins. Ulcers may form in the mouth, and the tongue will swell. Then nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, accompanied by abdominal pain, are added. The kissing bog or triatomine bogs. Their main habitat is in the American tropics, Mexico and Central America. Adult triatomine bogs reach a size of up to 3.5 centimeters. They have an elongated body, a cone-shaped head with a proboscis at the end, and bulging eyes. Wings are located on the sides of the body. They are carriers of Chagas disease. When they bite, the insects transmit parasitic organisms called trypanosomes. During the bite, the insect injects an anesthetic into the wound, so the sleeping person does not feel pain and does not wake up. The bug chooses the mucous membranes of the face for blood sucking. Transmission of trypanosomes occurs through feces. The bug defecates on the skin after feeding. Infection occurs through microscopic cracks on mucous membranes or by rubbing into the conjunctiva of the eye. According to medical estimates, up to 8 million residents in South America are infected with the disease, with more than 12,000 of them dying annually. Without treatment, the disease progresses to a chronic form. The accumulated number of parasites causes heart failure and death in humans. The Lenomia caterpillar. This is the caterpillar of moths widely known as the giant silkworm. Gathered on a tree trunk or rub them with your hand. The effects of a dose from several caterpillars can be dramatic and severe, including massive internal bleeding, kidney failure, and hemolysis. Death can occur either quickly or many days after poisoning. If you want to discuss this video or suggest an idea for the next one, join to my channel.